Okay, so let's begin. Uh, I can see that couple of most candidates are joining, but with the interest of time, I want to complete it at the earliest. That's the reason we will start. So first of all, thank you for joining and congratulations that you have been offered with WIPRO's letter of intent and offer letter. Most of the candidates have received it. I know that some candidates are facing some or the other issue. We will talk it in detail. But as of now, first let me introduce. Most of you must have seen me as well and also have seen my mails coming to you. My name is Lakshmi. I take care of the engineering hiring for West region. So currently what we are trying to do with this open house session is to try to resolve most of your queries, because there are multiple queries coming and there are multiple transactional mails which we are sending it to you for regular updates as such. So that's why I will begin with the first. Those candidates who haven't received the letter of intent from our end, not to worry, we have sent you the offer letter. All the candidates approximate, just give me a moment. Hope I'm audible. I hope I'm audible. So let's begin again. Sorry to interrupt in between. So as I was saying, if you haven't received the letter of intent, that's completely fine. There's no worry at all. We have triggered the offer letter to every individual. So kindly, it's my humble request to check in your spam, trash, and all your mails. It will be there from our end. We have triggered it. What you have to make a note of it is, while you are accepting the letter of the offer letter from our end, you have to save the PDF as well, because that is very important. If you don't save it, next time whenever your onboarding updates are coming, that PDF you need to download it, sign it and upload it. That will have a difficulty while your onboarding procedure is been taken place. That's why it is very important that you save your offer letter. In case any of the individual who has not saved it yet, which we have already communicated, not to worry. When your onboarding is scheduled, you can accordingly drop a mail to the email ID from whichever your onboarding updates have been given. They will accordingly share it with you. That was a very important thing, because everybody has received the offer letter. Now in case any of the candidate who haven't received the offer letter from our end, what I want you to do is reach out to your placement officer. Your placement officer will reach out to me, because that's the proper channel. While we are taking either two options you have, I will drop down the email ID as well. You can drop a mail to manager.campus@wipro.com, mentioning that you haven't received the offer letter, and kindly reshare the offer letter to you. That's the first step. Or for the simple step, you can reach out to your placement officer with your ISIMS resume number as well as your email ID, and your placement officer will reach out to you. Within 1 or 2 days you will receive the revised offer letter from our end. Now, second important updates what I wanted to give was turbo upgrade offer. Now, as we had already mentioned to many every time or several conversations during the presentation as well, I had mentioned this very explicitly, that turbo offer is been right now upgraded into velocity offer. That's been only for certain candidates who have performed extremely well during their MCAT exams, that is MCAT online exams, that is your test which was scheduled. In that, those who have performed above a particular parameter, for only them the turbo offer has been shared, and that's been already multiple candidates, I guess more than 1500 candidates from West have been selected for the same, and the communication has already been going to such set of candidates, and the procedure also is mentioned to them. For them, already the session has been created. In case you have submitted the responses which was shared for the turbo candidates, we will accordingly be scheduling one more session where you will get all the necessary rest of the updates soon. So until then, kindly wait. So turbo, those candidates who are shortlisted for turbo, we have already triggered many communications to them and all the procedure. They have to accordingly follow all the instructions. I will not deep dive in detail as such now in this particular channel, because this is an open forum. There are many candidates who don't fall under the turbo offer as well. So that's why not taking it too much long period. Internship. As per as my knowledge, we have triggered the internship mailer to all the 8,000 candidates who have we had sent the offer letter. You guys had to confirm whether your college and you are available for the internship starting from. I know that we had initially quoted that we will start from the first week of February, but due to there are a lot of other procedures happening, and this time the internship module is different, and we are also checking because you have not completed your final semester exams. How are we going to take it forward? So that's the reason we have not yet announced the internship period as such, but we are working. You will soon get an update about the internship. Those candidates who have mentioned that they are interested for the internship and the college is providing them a proper assistance and guidance during their internship period, for them it's already taken. Those who have mentioned that they are not interested for internship either because their university doesn't have a internship pattern or either any other circumstances, not to worry, your offer still stands. This is only for the internship. What we are providing is only was with respect to, just a second, too many candidates are writing too many things, as I had quoted and initially also mentioned to you all that kindly wait. I will give you guys an opportunity where I will give you certain times where you can ask your queries and concerns. If you start mentioning it now, I'll not be able to resolve everything, so that's my humble request. Other important thing, as I was mentioning about internship, those candidates who have mentioned it as yes, they will get an important update as the earliest. That's what we are trying to do. We are trying to look all the parameters and approximately about all the things, and accordingly we will keep you an update. Those who have mentioned or declined the internship offer, or those who missed to mention anything about the internship, not to worry, your offer with Wipro still stands. Accordingly your onboarding will be scheduled. Only for the internship candidates, their onboarding procedure and everything will be different. So those candidates who have considered and accepted for the internship, you will be onboarded as an intern once you complete your 8th semester exams and once you meet your eligibility criteria of 50, 50 and 60. Accordingly, based on your documentation and uploadation program, uploadation session, after that, once you clear our audit procedure, we will be converting you as a regular employee. That's how the internship model is going to go. That was it about the important thing. Other thing, I hope everybody has heard about the revised compensation. I already had multiple sessions about revised compensation. Hope you are aware of the revised compensation, how it works, what are the parameters. The mails have also been triggered to you, so kindly go through. I would request everybody to go through all the insights, whatever we are giving you, updates, whatever we are giving you, small details, what we are mentioning it to you. At least read, because that will actually help you to resolve all your queries, your doubts, your confusion. You don't need to reach out to any, neither me, neither placement officer, nobody. No helpline ID is required. You just need to be active on your mails and read all the particular communication. That was the important fact. I've communicated about turbo as well. Now, anything else which I wanted to mention is very important. There are 3 more factors which I wanted to mention. Now, somebody's constantly writing some in the chat box, some of the other queries. That's the reason I'm unable to explain. However, let me hold it out. I'll close the live chat box. I'll disable it as of now. As I was saying, now many candidates have reached out to the placement officers like they are facing troubles while uploading the documentation process. Also, there are a lot of queries where your phone number is not mentioned properly, your date of birth is wrong, many other such queries. I'm just highlighting 2 or 3 because that was very common. The first step you have to do, in case your date of birth is wrong, what you have to do is reach out to your placement officer, or you can write a mail to manager.campus@wipro.com with this ID proof, with the proper ID code, PAN card, Aadhaar card. Mention your resume number, mention your correct date of birth, also the screenshot of the date of birth which is mentioned in the iSIMS portal, and you can request accordingly that to get it updated. You can go a two-way channel, either your placement officer, either this. Now this is for the date of birth. Now if you have a phone number issue, your phone number is wrongly mentioned something, or 91 is added, or something is happening and your candidature is not moving forward, save. Reach out to the placement officer with the screenshot of the error, what it is coming, and also mention your correct phone number so that we can accordingly update it from the back end. Now, third important issue is gender. There are a lot of issues with the gender, name change. The same follow procedure, screenshot as well as the ID proof, which can actually give us the proof that this is what it is, and accordingly we will change. Now, there are many candidates who are facing some issues while uploading the documents. Now, It is mandatory to have a Aadhaar card. It is mandatory to have a PAN card. It is mandatory to have your passport. Now, in case you don't have your passport, please apply for the passport because passport is mandatory to clear our documentation process. In the sense, during our onboarding, not the overall documentation. So, for that particular parameter, you at least apply for it. Once you apply it, you get an acknowledgement form. You can upload that as an acknowledgement form. Now, whatever documents we had mentioned like 10th and 12th original mark sheets, you have to have your first to 7th semester mark sheets. I know that most of the candidates will have till 6th semester and some few candidates will not have their 4th and 5th, 3rd and 4th semester marks also because of the COVID. Your either exams where you were automatically being promoted or something like that, exams were not done, or after that the exams happened. All such scenarios, whatever document is asked, you accordingly upload it, whether it is internet copy, whether you have the mark sheet. If you don't have it, try to make it available. In case at the last point of time you don't have the document, I would request you to mention in the comment box itself, not this comment box, that I verify comment box, that this document you are awaiting from the college or HOD, and accordingly by this particular date you will be uploading it. Whatever you have, you upload it so that your candidature moves. As I said, once you accept the offer letter, your documentation process starts, so that we see that if you have all the necessary documents, we can onboard you at the earliest. For that, these particular parameters are very, very important. Now, in that sense, you have to make sure all the necessary documents are there. Once all your documents are submitted, or whatever documents you have, it has been submitted, I have a team who takes care of the all the document process and checks whether you are eligible for the process as per our eligibility criteria. If that's the same, you are being cleared and your status becomes green. If our team sees that there are certain 3 or 4 documents which is not mentioned, what our team does, we keep you as an amber case where we are still awaiting for a clarification from your end. So once the documentation process is being seen and there are certain documents pending, what our team does is the team releases a screen back to you and you get an auto mailer as well saying that this particular document is pending from you, kindly upload it at the earliest. That's the procedure what happens for documentation. Now there are many candidates who have already uploaded all the necessary documents and they are asking for updates on when are they getting onboarded, their exams as such. If you have completed your onboarding procedures, that is your documentation process has been completed, you have to wait for further updates. You will be onboarded either by a internship model if you have accepted for our internship program. If not, once you complete your 8th semester exams, we will be sending you a survey to check your availability. If you're available, accordingly your onboarding schedule will be happening, so you have enough time. That's the procedure of the onboarding, how it takes place. Now, very, very important thing, PJP, that is pre-joining program. I know that most of the candidates have received the pre-joining mails, but there are some set of candidates who haven't received it. So now we have divided the pre-joining training into different batches. So there are some set of candidates who have already started with their pre-joining, which was scheduled in the first week of January. Some have started with from 15th of January. Some have started from first week of February. It's happening in batches. So in case you have received your pre-joining program with whatever streams you have been mapped, I would want you all to complete that joining because that is very important. It is mandatory. If you have to complete your pre-joining program within 1 month from when it has been scheduled for you, that is activated for you. If you haven't received it, you have to wait accordingly. In batch wise, we are scheduling it for everybody and we will have a proper orientation session for the same also, so not to worry about your pre-join. Now many candidates have issues with login into the Pjp app itself, that is PBL app. What you have to do is you have an email ID called head.pjp@wipro.com. If there is any error, write a mail to that email ID with the screenshot of the error, with your resume number, with your email ID and your phone number, because there are several times the email communication what we said, you will not be able to explain it properly, or we will not be able to give you a solution over the mail. So it is easy for us, if you have your active phone number is given to us, we will immediately call you accordingly and it will be taken forward. So that's about the PJP details. Now, I guess I have covered all the necessary aspects of whatever we have. Now, I know that there was an onboarding survey sent to you. This is the final aspect which I wanted to cover. Survey aspects, if I have to talk about, there are multiple surveys going. So while a survey is sent, request you to kindly read the content of the survey and accordingly respond, because I have seen several mails coming from your placement officer and candidates saying that by mistakenly I have mentioned no, by mistakenly I have mentioned yes. That is very difficult to track, because once the survey is closed, we directly download the report and publish it accordingly and take the decisions. So it is very important while you are filling the survey, you fill it after reading the questions properly. And always while you are sending a communication in a survey format, it is important that you log in over the laptop, log in via laptop or a desktop, because in phone there are certain times the keys doesn't work or it gets auto selected, something like that. I'm just giving you a generic things. I am not saying that phone is not, it's not a friendly phone friendly survey, no it is, but however I would advise you all to do like that. That's what my main content was. Other very important aspect, many candidates have written back to us saying that I have submitted the response for onboarding but I haven't received an update. As I said, we are still working on various parameters and various things have been planned for you. It is taking a while, but accordingly, if you have responded, you don't need to worry, we will be accordingly sharing all the updates to you. Now other important thing what I wanted to mention is we we are going to have such kind of a sessions every 2 weeks. Okay, so if a session is created today and we have conducted that session and you have raised a query, we would try within the 2 weeks of span of time that the query is being resolved. In case it is not resolved, you can accordingly mention in the next session whenever it happens, and accordingly it will be for sure resolved. It is just, I'm just giving you a statement that it may get resolved that time, but however we will try to make sure that all the queries which are enlisted today can be resolved within this 1 week of span. Now many candidates have written back to their placement officer as well as written to me also saying that manager.campus team doesn't respond. Now you have to please understand, there's a particular parameter of manager.campus also, they get n number of queries and within a period of 1 day they have to resolve a lot of queries. Same like for velocity email id, also for pjp email id, you have to give a time. If you have dropped a mail today, today is Friday, okay, you may get a response on Tuesday itself, because today is the last working day, Saturday Sunday it's an official week off for us, so we don't work on that. Same with the team also, so Monday they will be seeing it, Monday they will be seeing it, maybe they will respond to you on Monday but probably by Tuesday. So you have to give a particular team at least 72 hours to work on it, because there are many queries coming in between, so they need sufficient amount of time for the same as well. So that was other important aspect. Now I hope you got little bit insight about everything, whether it is about internship, whether it is about pjp, whether it is about documentation, whether it is about offer letter. Hope most of the things have been clear. Now very important aspect, few candidates had written back to me saying that their email id what with they have registered is wrong. Either it has become jar mail, either the I is missing or something or the other is missing. You don't need to reach out to anybody, you can do it. It's a self process, you can do itself. I will guide you properly for that. You have to log into your superset with your superset account id and password. There is a student help option there towards your right hand side. You can click there and they will assist you accordingly, and your email id gets updated necessarily. So whatever details or whatever email id you have logged in iSIMS as well as in superset, the same email id will be taken forward, so you have to be very careful.